Yo, 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 what up? Finally, finally, he's a full participant in practice. Everyone can relax. He's a full participant in practice, which about 99% of the time, that means he's going to play if he has no setbacks. And we all know who I'm talking about. Marshawn Lattimore. But in other news, Noah Brown is probably going to be out for the year. Lot of news today in a short period of time. We're gonna talk about it right after this. I know it looks like Ceelo is at a hotel, but he disappeared. I don't know exactly where he is. But Breeze, what's good, man?
What's good?
Oh, there you go.
Good. Is he back? No, he's still
He
frozen.
trying to slide around the camera. Welcome back to Owning the Huddle podcast. Brother Deuce is here. He's here to defend his O-line. I'm getting sick and tired of you dudes and this fan base talking about my O-line. We gonna handle this today. Welcome back on another podcast. Have served, and we in the building. Ceelo Deuce. Ceelo, what's good, man? How you feeling, man?
What's good, man? What's good? We got this first injury report out. It's Saints week, I guess. Not to sound disrespectful, to the Saints.
That's very disrespectful.
But man, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. How about you?
Feeling good, man. It's raining like crazy in the city, on and off. But yeah, man, Ron came up. Slim is going to be joining us like last week. What's up, Tim? I made it just in time. I had one major indictment against Cliff. The absolute refuse to target Luke. Every show you got something, Tim, but we're gonna talk about that too. What's good, Torch? What's good, Torch? Appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. We gotta let Adam Peters cook for sure. Appreciate you for stopping by. URE in the building was good.
What
Not to talk about this, man, but and J Mick gonna join us too. He's a Patriots fan. I just want to know a little bit about KJ Osborne. Nothing big, but I just want to know the why they mutually decided to part ways. Chuck, what's good, Chuck? Chuck is in the building. Let me see if I can find this real quick before they come while we wait for them. It just like the way he sounded about, and on the injury report, it had kidney, I think.
Ooh.
But the way he was talking about it to me was kind of like scary. Like, let me see if you feel the same way.
Team as we begin our
Can you hear it,
prep
Ceelo?
for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure.
Actually, hold on. Let's come back. We actually got J Mick in the building. Let's come back. We're gonna come back to that. Slim was good, man.
Yo, what's the word, fellas?
Good, chilling. Glad you could join us again 2 weeks. J Mick was good, man.
Not much, man. What's going on, man?
How you feeling, man?
I mean, I feel good. I mean, for me, as soon as the season's over, man, I feel a lot
Feel a lot better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, check down hosts on Saturdays, 11 a.m. Talk football. They talk college, very knowledgeable. With Smitty, y'all know Smitty.
Yep.
Smitty is
Pop
on
and
there.
certified,
Yeah, Pop, and we all know certified. He's been on here a few times. And also Routed Up hosts on Saturday mornings at 9:15 with Whittle. So like we claim KJ Osborne off
Yep.
waivers. As you can see, we lost Noah Brown, which is looking like for the rest of the year. I want to kind of go back a little bit before just a few questions before we let you go about KJ Osborne. What was the expectations of him? Because you all signed him, right? You didn't trade for him.
Yeah.
You signed him as a free agent in the
Yep.
offseason. What was the expectations for him, and like what happened?
So man, I gotta give you a non-biased approach because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I didn't like him when he was on the Vikings last year. Like, I never been a KJ Osborne fan. So I'm gonna give you the non-biased aspect of it. I mean, so obviously in free agency the last couple of years, the Patriots pretty much struck out. Like, they was trying to get Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley chose to go to Tennessee. That was more of a personal thing. I think it was his wife or his girlfriend. I think she's from that area, so she wanted to live around there, so that's why they chose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then like D Hop the year before, we was trying to get him, and then he went to Tennessee too. And so pretty much there wasn't really a lot of options on like the free agency market because as you know, wide receivers don't really move. You know, your great your high level wide receivers don't move team to team. That it doesn't work that way. So I mean, the Vikings obviously have a stacked core, so they let him go. And I mean, like, the Patriots needed to sign a veteran wide receiver because Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL last year, so he was coming off of that. So we knew he wasn't going to be ready for the season. And so I just think, like, I mean, in the draft they drafted two guys, Polk and Baker. So I mean, the room, with Polk and Baker, and like, and then Pop Douglas was drafted the year before, so we got a young room. So I feel like they need a veteran presence since I mean, Kendrick Bourne wasn't going to be ready. And they got him for cheap money. I think it was on like a 1 or 2 year deal. Got him for cheap money. And I think that's why they signed him. I just think they signed him, like I said, for that veteran presence. And then, for me, like, to me, his game is short to intermediate. That's where I think he thrives. And I think that's where they wanted to use him. I mean, primarily, I don't think he has the capability of going deep down the field. And I mean, obviously, signing Jacoby Brissett, you're not planning on throwing the ball down the field. That's not what you're planning to do, because that's not what he does well. And so I just think we went into the season, and I mean, with Jacoby Brissett, I mean, like, we obviously beat the Bengals game 1. I mean, like, he had some I think he had some catches either in that game or like one of the, like, in the first month of the season. He wasn't playing bad. But I just think as you put in Drake May, a young quarterback, and Drake May loves to throw the ball down the field, like, he likes to take more shots and more chances. I just don't think he fit the offense. I mean, like, once we changed over the offense to Drake May, like, we kind of changed some things up. And I think that showed in the last like 3 to 4 weeks where he hasn't even been active for the team. And I mean, he was on the trade block at the trade deadline. I mean, to me, it's a failure on Wolf, who's our GM. Like, you kind of knew you weren't going to play him. You should just, even if you trade for a 7th round pick or whatever, just trade for whatever you can get. And he didn't really do that. But I mean, one thing I'll say, like I said, like, I've never been a fan of his, but I will say he's a good wide receiver. He just can't be your 1 or your 2. Like, he's a good wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. I mean, like, maybe what I mean, Jayden Daniels, I mean, like, it might be different. I mean, like, I was a big Jayden guy going into the draft, so I have a lot of confidence in Jayden. I think Jayden is a great quarterback. So I mean, maybe Jayden can change that. I mean, maybe he could slide into that wide receiver 2 role that you guys might have, or I mean, maybe you guys have another guy that could do that. He could be a 3, and I think he'll be fine. I mean, obviously, if he's your 1, then you got a problem. And you guys already have a 1, so I think you guys are all set on that.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's more like a committee, right? Like, we got Luke McCaffrey. He's haven't been playing the wide receiver position a long time. I think the whole separation thing is, I mean, like, you like fourth, fifth progression. You're not garnering the best players on defense, and when are you open? Like, right. So I kind of look at those separation things with a grain of salt. Then you have Oz, right? Like, this is his best year he's literally ever had, and the last few weeks he fell off. He had some muffs, and he haven't really been an impact on offense. He did have a couple games early in the year where he was creating plays, and then that was it. I mean, De'Ami Brown shows up every now and then, that's what we have in the room after Terry is every now and again, guys. I mean, even when Noah was there, it was every now and again. Even though he was more consistent than the rest of them, he was out there more. He got more targets, but he still had key drops. He had key catches. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's like a huge loss, but it's definitely going to be like wide receiver 2-3 by committee for sure. I mean, even at the tight end position, hopefully we're able to start incorporating snaps and more passing downs and getting them some targets. I think he can help. So maybe we'll see that, but I don't know, man. But I just don't think it's a huge hit for us to lose Noah in that sense. And I don't think KJ is going to be any better or even worse. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you kind of describe KJ in a sense because like KJ he's gonna make some incredible catches, and he's gonna drop some easy passes. Man, it's kind of it's kind of similar. So,
yeah, you got anything for him, Ceelo?
Nah, I mean, I appreciate it. I know is KJ more of a speed guy? I see he's like 5'11-ish, 200 pounds, or would you say he's kind of more of a possession, kind of a bigger body, maybe more of a possession guy?
I mean, to me, he's more of a possession guy. Like he doesn't have that like crazy speed where I mean, like he's gonna beat you on a fade or not. Like he's not that kind of. At least for what I've seen when he played for the Vikings and the Patriots, I didn't see that. To me, like I said, like he's more like a short to like I'm an intermediate route kind of guy. I mean, he's not gonna get a ton of separation either. But sometimes he has the ability to make contested catches. I'm not gonna say all the time, because like kind of what was said about Noah Brown, like sometimes he's gonna make those hard catches, and sometimes those like easy catches that he should make, he make them sometimes, and sometimes he won't. So I mean, just answer your question.
Yeah.
I would say it's more like a possession guy. That's what I would say.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got
You
you.
got something, Shalem?
Not really about KJ, no.
You want to ask about Drake May?
Nah,
Mayo.
I was gonna ask him, because I know his mind is already there. Like, with all signs pointing to y'all getting Travis because the two teams in front of y'all are quarterback needy teams, right? Would you want him to come in and play more wide receiver or more DB?
I'm not even big on Travis. I'm gonna be honest.
He's
like,
not, yeah.
I'm not really that big on Travis because it's our scheme. Like, so in the league, like we play man. We're in the top 5 teams that play man the greatest percentage of the time, right? And I mean, Trav, like I like Trav as a player, but for my scheme, you got to be able to play man, and that's not his strong suit. His strong suit is a zone corner, and so I mean, we do play zone, we just don't play a lot of it. And so like because my fans, I tell them like, if you're gonna draft a corner, then I'd rather draft Will Johnson because we got the 3rd pick right now. Like, depending on if we win anymore. If you want to go the corner route, then just draft Will Johnson because he's the best corner in the draft. He's really good at man. And then if you're going to draft a wide receiver, I would say draft Ted from Arizona. That's what I would tell him. But if the franchise does draft Trav, then that means we just have to make some adjustments. I wouldn't I don't hate him as a player. I just don't think he fits our scheme. But if they do draft him, then we got to just adjust. To me though, like I think he has the biggest impact in making a bigger difference on offense than defense. That's just my opinion. Like I mean he still has a lot to develop as a wide receiver. And I feel like as a corner, you pretty much know what he is as a corner. Like this is who he is pretty much what he is, what he's going to be. So I mean, I guess if we draft him, I guess they're going to have to kind of try to develop him as a wide receiver, even though we do not have the greatest track record with that. So, but yeah, I mean, pretty much just to sum it up, I mean, whoever we get, I'll be happy about it because I mean, when you take a guy in the top 5, I mean, like you're expecting them to be a really, really good player. So,
yeah.
And I know you heavy in college, so Adam so it's official now with Belichick, what they call in Chapel Bill now. So it's official now. Yeah, they call Chapel Bill now.
Chapel Bill.
What do you think about that, Mick?
The funny thing was when the news first trickled down about him trying to talk to them about the job, that was like a couple weeks ago. I was just like, man, he just trying to drum up some like attention so he get back into the league. That's what I thought. Like that's what I thought. But apparently it's not that. Like for me, like I'm looking between the lines. Like I think, I mean, from him and like, so like if you don't know, like I think like Michael Lombardi does a lot of shows, and like Michael Lombardi and like Bill are like real, they're real close. So I mean, like whenever Mike Lombardi says something, you could kind of, if it's Patriot or Bill related, you could kind of pretty much know that's kind of how Bill feels. I just don't think the interest was there. Like I don't think a lot of teams, like teams like Jacksonville, the Bears, were reaching out to him. And I think he really wanted to coach, and this was probably his only avenue, in my opinion. But the thing about Bill is like he a great coach, so I think anything he puts his mind to, I mean, he should be able to do it. So I get it. Like some people say, well, it's a younger generation. You're paying these guys and all that. But if you think about it, the college is getting a little. I don't want to say it's not exactly like the NFL because, like I mean, dudes aren't making as much, as like the top tier NFL players make, but they're making money. So like so he's gonna have a whole like a GM laid out for it, a whole like person that's in charge of like NIL and all that stuff. So he gonna be like the CEO of the school, and so I personally think it could work. I think the only drawback is if college football, like North Carolina is not a football school, that's a basketball school. So that's the only drawback. But I think on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of guys are gonna want to go there because Bill, especially in the secondary, like the secondary play, like that's Bill's specialty is the secondary. So I mean, I don't think they're gonna have a problem getting corners and safeties and players like that to come into the program. I think my issue with Bill, when we fired him was on offense. Like he didn't bring in the offensive talent that the Patriots needed, and you can see it now. Like our line is 32nd in the league in like pass protection. I mean, like we are lacking at the wide receiver position as well. And so that would be my concern for Tar Heel fans. Is just that. He's running your program, and I don't know how the offense is going to look. So, I mean, if you bring in like Josh McDaniels as his OC, then maybe it won't be such a big deal. But like, say I was a Tar Heels fan, that would be something that I would kind of be looking at.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'm interested now. Like, there ain't too many things. I mean, Dion definitely got me interested, but that wore off a little bit. Now you got Bill and Chapel Hill. Like, this is gonna be insane, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Mick, we definitely appreciate you for jumping on last minute, man, and talking about KJ, man. We definitely appreciate you, man.
Cool. Thanks.
Always.
Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, man. Peace.
I think it is.
Yeah, man. So like, it's not this move. It doesn't do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it. Like, it's tough to lose because, like, I mean, we gonna definitely get into it. But let me just go to the way Dan talked about Noah Brown real quick.
Today, a lot of energy with the team as we begin our prep for New Orleans. Make sure as we're getting back and kickstarting everything back in, capturing that play style, which leads to the identity that we love to play with. So big day today and lots for us to improve on. We identified some of those things into Monday and now getting into the week. So let's get rocking with you guys.
So starting with injuries, what are you expecting from Andrew and then Noah and obviously Marshawn this week?
Yep. So Andrew has been cleared to fully participate in practice. And Marshawn is also fully participating in practice. Yes. And tough news on Noah. He's going to be out for a while. And so Brown. So he had a significant internal injury from the game. And so that's going to knock him out for a while. And we love him, man. This play style, the identity of how he goes. And so that one hurts. He's been absolutely one of our glue guys. And after the game or during the game, between him and the medical staff, they did a really good job to address what was a serious injury. And, fortunately he's going to be okay, but it's going to knock him out for a bit.
Say for a bit, is this season ending for him?
Yeah, we'll visit that later this week, but it's likely, heading that way.
Okay, and I just want to ask one more on Marshawn.
All right, we're tired of hearing about Marshawn. So like, what's up, Brandon? Yeah, he definitely gonna get play. It's gonna be interesting, man. I know the portal just opened up. When is the portal close?
I'm not sure
because I know it just opened. So it's gonna be interesting. But like Dan, I mean, like Dan was kind of like real sad. So like when I saw the injury, and I was like, and I was asking the chat, what they were saying he was like concussion. I was like, well, it looked like he hit his head. It looked like he fell on the football. So I was like, hopefully he got the wind knocked out of him. But now it seemed like maybe he did like, I mean, they say it's his kidney. So all I'm kind of thinking of like because they would have said rib and kidney, right? If the rib cracked and like punctured his kidney or something. I mean, I don't know, like what type of like how can he get that injury on the kidney if it's not bruised by the ribs? I mean, I ain't no doctor, but
I don't know. I would assume it's just like a laceration or something. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not sure, man. That's tough though.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Chuck
Yeah.
said. Sound like a laceration. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. Like you can't play with that. Like, is it self healed? I mean, is it they had surgery?
I
I don't
believe
know.
kidneys usually heal on its own.
Yeah, it's probably a time thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Cap. So we just talked with J Mick, very knowledgeable Patriots fan. It's more of a fit thing, right? Like a scheme, a fit thing. He's not somebody that's going to beat you over the top. He's more of a possession guy. He's going to have some drops. He's going to have some catches. I think it's the same thing that we kind of got from Noah. I mean, Noah did give us pass interference, so I don't know if KJ can bring that to the table, but yeah, so yeah, that it seems kind of serious with Noah. Like Dan, like he's about to cry talking about.
I think this might force Cliff Hand a little bit more with the moving Terry around too, though.
Yeah,
which might be a blessing in disguise. So
yeah, for sure, and that's something we can get right into, Ceelo. So like Noah and Eckler is out, right? That's over 1,100 yards worth of offense. This season, however you want to cut it up, it's still 1,100 yards of offense. Where do you think that production is going to come from?
I think you alluded to it. I think it's going to be a committee type production. We may not like it, but you may see the Zach Ertz of the world get a few more, targets. Obviously you may see Terry get a few more targets. And I think you might see De'Ami Brown get a bit more involved in the offense. I don't foresee KJ playing this game. I think it'll be a one game, build up kind of game. So he'll probably be inactive, but active against the Eagles. So I think it's gonna be by committee. I don't think it's gonna be one player because I think Austin Eckler was a big part of his offense pre-injury. Noah's a big part. I mean, Noah plays almost 100% of the snaps. So he's not just a guy, and he actually is part of the offense, whether we like it or not, in terms of targets and in terms of actual routes run. So I think it's gonna be by committee.
What you think, Slim?
Same as Ceelo. I think I lean more to Jayden becoming more of a playmaker off script. I think I see him using his legs a bit more down the stretch. I think it's just going to really test Cliff and his creativity, his ability to scheme, to continue scheming guys open. I don't want to say it like he hasn't been, but to continue doing so. And again, we know he can, right? Because he did it with Noah, but it took Noah some games to get into that groove. And that was at the beginning of the season when, it wasn't no expectations there. We kind of need him to get, KJ, Luke, and De'Ami, and the rest of those been the guys that, we've been hoping for a breakout or just for more of a pop than what they've been giving us, in spotty situations, with this stretch. Because as much as we, like our path to the playoffs, nothing's a given. So, but I think for the most part, I see it in Jayden using his legs more, and maybe Cliff getting a little bit more on the handing the ball off side of things with C Rod and McNichols. You know, we know them as capable runners. So you might see that a little bit more. You know, heading into playoffs. I just think it'll be running more so than it'll be, you know, because Jayden's not the type to force things regardless, right? So I can more see him, you know, just naturally taking off a bit more or Cliff handing the ball off a bit more than, you know, maybe Luke or Diami or KJ, you know, stepping up in a manner in which we will hope them to. So
Yeah, man,
And
because they're
that's
gonna
it.
get a. Yeah, go ahead, Ceelo.
I was just gonna say that's a good point, only because if I'm New Orleans, I'm loading up on the box, right? I'm
Yeah,
like, none of these. I mean, I know they don't have the greatest secondary either, but none of these, receivers scare me. So outside of Terry, I'm gonna load the box, go man to man on everybody else with a safety over top with Terry, and let's see what happens. I can't let again if I'm New Orleans, I can't let um B Rob and company beat me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's interesting to see how defenses adjust now to Noah. And not saying Noah's again was this big deal, but he was enough to where you knew he was part of the
kind
game
of
plan.
thought about it. Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. And Jayden too. Like they're probably going to spy on
Yep.
Jayden, try to keep him in the box and force him to throw the ball downfield. And I think there's a difference between, when you think about the guy on the AFC, when you say, just force him to throw the ball. With us, I think like Jayden can win both ways. And I think
Agreed.
he can make a throw to get people open. Like they say, throw them open, but are they going to be able to catch the pass? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. I mean, even with Noah, like he dropped a few. Um, so I'm interested to see how they do. I think we're gonna have some more screens. I wouldn't be surprised if Snatch gets a few looks and plays. I mean, I think he had a play ran for him like 2 weeks in a row. The little play action and little flat
flat route, yeah.
that he's been running. So maybe that'll tick up a little bit more. I think you take some shots to Diami down the field. If they do a CeeLo was suggesting and going one-on-one, I think you take some shots to make them choose. You either going to shade over the Terry side. I'm going to try this downfield with Diami. Like Diami has shown that he could catch the ball down the field, over the head type stuff. So, I mean, you got Oz. I mean, he has kind of been a no-show. So it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. Can Luke is at the point where now, these separation metrics now, you're going to, like you might get CB2 now, right? Like now can you get separation? You know what I'm saying? You ain't going against a corner or CB4 or whatever. Now let's see if you can, get open. But yes, to your point, Slim, I think Cliff did a lot of it last week, moving Terry here and there or whatever. I think he'll do a little bit more because they really going to just, hey, let's take him out the game, make everybody else beat it. Stack the box, double him, make everybody else beat it. So the way to get away from that is to kind of move him and try to give them in favorable situations. So,
And
Yeah.
and moving might not always be about getting him in favorable situations, but just getting the other guys in more favorable
yeah,
opportunities than what they may be accustomed to when Terry's in a specific spot for majority of the game. Just want to give the defense just different things to look at and to account for. We don't know how they don't know how KJ is going to be used
right.
in our offense. So early on, do some eye candy things with him, whether the play actually goes to him or not. Just kind of get him involved in some of those things. I would think Cliff would do, but I think we're going to lean on as much as Austin and Noah Brown have been doing well. And been the most consistent of the others, they still have been complementary pieces to B Rob, Terry, and Ertz. So those are the three guys we're going to have to continue to lean on. And yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see how Jayden and Cliff attack this new challenge down the stretch.
CJ said this is King Henry.
Not Cleo. Cleo is crazy.
Wow.
At least Cleo had her shape up down there.
Oh man. Some people was playing this. Let me just get a idea of like Osborne. And then talk something else. This is when he's with the Vikings more so. 'Cause his numbers, like, I mean, that was a horrible sign because outside of the first couple games, like he was deactivated some.
Yeah. And I think that's just more fit in the room than it necessarily was about him just not being capable to beat one of those guys out. Like you said, once they go to the young guy, once they go to Drake, he been, throwing more to those younger targets,
a good possession. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, those two rosters kind of similar to what Noah would be doing.
Waiting for an opportunity this year. So he's got some motivation to come in and, if not prove his case to come back as a depth guy for us next year, but to, for his next stop, wherever that may be in the offseason. So
yeah, he's still getting stopped inside the 5, so he fit right in.
He fit right in. And Terry's been getting a few of those little bubble screens as well. So, choice routes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
Or
same. Look like
Drake
Oz.
May.
Yeah, man.
Look like Oz out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
basically,
we needed depth.
we needed a body, man.
Yeah, the guys on the
He
practice
can't be
squad.
no worse.
It was the 6'5" guy that got on the practice squad. He obviously ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? He been on the practice squad like 4 weeks. Was name striking, something like that. He just got the other guys. I mean, Crowder, I don't even want to talk about him.
I just want
He was
Crowder
a
to
full
get back. I
participant
just want
today.
him to get back at punt return because I can't take no more muffs.
Yeah, Dan talked about him. He was like, we're going to take the same process we took with everybody else, and mentioned Marshawn and him hitting steps, blah blah blah. So, I think we got a spot open. So
we still got Bryson Tremaine, and he did.
Is he on the practice squad?
Yeah, him and Mitchell Tinsley.
Tinsley on the practice squad too?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So we claimed him. So he's on the 53, right?
I would think so.
He would have to be.
And that's how that worked when you claim him?
Because you gotta still when you pay somebody on waivers, you still paying them with
picking up their contract.
Yeah, I guess technically you could put him on your practice squad, I guess.
No, but you
I mean,
have
as long
to
as you get
release
his
him,
contract, you can do whatever you want. Because it's not like you grabbed him off their practice squad. He just released. But I don't know.
I wonder what his contract looked like real quick.
Well, it's probably not much.
Surely not. A little vet man type deal.
He's a 5th round draft pick, so he's not even. Yeah, it's probably nothing significant. 2020, so he's still. This would be his rookie. His last year was 2020. Nope, his rookie deal is already expired, so he's on his 2nd.
No, this is rookie. Oh yeah, you're right. So what did he get? This is rookie. Oh, he 1 year, $4 million.
Yeah, that's not about.
Yeah, he got 1 year, $4 million. It's $2 million signing bonus. He got 31 at signing. Guaranteed at signing. He got 2,000 at signing. So yeah, he'll get his 4. He'll get his 4. Ain't nothing. Yeah, I ain't expecting too much, man. Get right into Jamison Crowder. I don't know, man. Like, if Osborne was on the roster, I don't think we have a roster spot. So they'll have to move somebody. I don't think he comes back this week. I still don't know what his injury was. Did they have it on the injury report?
Not that I paid attention to.
Crowder?
Might have been me.
So I don't know, somebody like him, you want him, he has to be like as close to 100% as possible. So I don't know what they'll do with Crowder if he does come back. I mean, he said, he's a great slot guy. He's a veteran. He's reliable. Like he said all those different types of things. So I definitely think he'll probably be on this roster. But who would you remove? Right? I don't think they claim Osborne and not have him on an active roster.
Yeah, that's tough. Because
who do you? I mean, he's there as a spot already. But if you bring on Crowder, who are you dropping?
I don't know, man.
It may be another position.
It would have to be another
defensive line, maybe, or depending
it would
on
have to
how
be somebody. It would have to be somebody that ain't been getting no snaps because I'm only bringing Crowder in to play punt return. Like
Chuck said,
so, but at least Oz is out there as a wide receiver. You can. I won't say count on him, but he do a little something far as blocking,
everything,
stuff like that. Like he put effort into the blocking. And when he catching the ball, we've seen him do some things in the Arizona game. He had a couple good plays. So if he can just, if whatever, he needed to do over the bye week, if he can get rid of this, yips that he been having as far as, holding on to the ball, whether it's being targeted or returning, Oz has been fine for what he's been asked to do.
And these dudes playing for their careers, man. Diami, Oz, KJ, like go out there. Like you want a contract next year, man. Like you got to go out there and work for it. Even for us. I mean, you out there for 32 teams, bro. Like you trying to show you got something. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be one of these 3-year, statistics about being out the league or whatever. So Diami too.
They gave Bill 10 per 3 for 30.
3 years.
Pretty good for university.
Yeah.
That's not like a big.
I think Dion got what, 5?
They giving out 6 and 7.
Yeah, that's a lot. Sure. I mean, what you think? I want to. He has to be over everything, bro. Like, there's no way AD is going to be over him. No way, yeah. He's probably right underneath the president. He probably got a class and everything. He probably teaching the class and everything. Ain't no way AD gonna be over him. Yeah, I can't see it, bro. Like, I can't see it. Yeah, not at all, man. I can't see it, man. All right, so Marshawn Lattimore, finally a full participant. Hopefully you don't have no setbacks. Like he's gonna be good to go. Sunday in New Orleans. Before we get to the play, like I tweeted out something yesterday. It got mixed responses. I think we talked about it, Ceelo, yesterday. But I'm gonna ask Slim. Are you what's your feeling on him being a captain for Sunday?
Who, Marshawn?
Yeah.
I mean, like I would think that's like that's a formality at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't he be? Like, we just gave Mariota a captaincy. We being super petty with this. Like, so that's gotta run. Like, I need to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, yeah. I'll be surprised if he's not.
Yeah. And the only reason why he wouldn't be just because he just hasn't played a game, a snap yet. But other than that, yeah, no, I like what I'm all for it, and that's what I'm expecting. So
yeah. So Marshawn coming back, I guess we're all going to find out. Like, okay, do you think he's going to have normal snap count, or do you think he's going to be on a snap count per se, or do you think he's going to be 80%, 90%? What do you think his snap count going to look like?
I will hope that the way that they've been precautionary and with the bye, I would hope that there is no snap count. You just come out and play 95% of the snaps. But also I can see them easing their way into that to not kind of have him re-injure the hamstring, because as much as a player and the doctors, the staff could say a hamstring is healed, we know that tweak, especially with someone like him who seems like a Djax who habitually gets these hamstrings and leg injuries. I can see them starting off, not giving them, maybe he plays 75-80% of the snaps against the Saints, and then that just kind of get there, so that way when we get to the wild card weekend, it's no, they just kind of just let them, let the dog off the leash type of thing, and be fully confident that he gonna make it out of the game. So that's how I would expect it to go.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think assuming he's healthy, assuming he passes all the markers as DQ would say, um, and they see him go, practice is practice. It ain't NFL ain't like college or high school. They don't practice as hard as you know those other guys do. But I think they let him off the reins and just let him go unless he feels a certain kind of way. They may let him just go and rock out the whole game. It's not like, and I mean, this is NFL, so you can get tested, but I'm not sure they're really afraid of any wide receivers on that team. So this may be the perfect game to let him just play the whole game and see how he feels in terms of after the game, whether he feels a little sore, blah, blah, blah. 'Cause it's been a while since he played football. So yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be a full game. My question is going to be, so what happens to BSJ or what happens to everybody else? Like, how
Yeah,
does the whole
that's where I was
rotation
going
look?
next. Like, what is that going to look like? Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm still of the mindset that BSJ will be starting the other side. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see Mikey lining up over there. But I don't want people to be surprised if they see BSJ inside on some snaps and not Noah. Because I've always been, I don't know who's on this hill with me, but I've been on this hill that I like BSJ inside. The thing with BSJ is just that early on in his career, he's never been able to play one position for a season. It's always been fluctuating on the back end with us, especially at the outside corner position. So
yeah,
it'll definitely
yeah.
be interesting to
I'm
see
definitely
how
on
it
the
goes.
opposite side. Like, when they tried it the first couple games and they figure out 13 just wasn't it, and they started bringing them off the bench and all that other stuff. He just didn't look like comfortable to me. I don't think he likes it. And he's kind of tall. Like, he doesn't have like real good hips either. I think you need good hips to play in the slot. But again, like, Dan and them like big receivers. I mean, corners. So I'm definitely curious to see what it looks like.
I think it's interesting. I haven't looked at Joe Witt's defense from the past like too much, but I know it's his first year as a DC, but like as a secondary coach, because a lot of wide receivers move around. AJ Brown,
Yeah,
a third of his snaps come from the slot. So in those scenarios,
yeah.
yeah, BSJ can play the slot. He probably don't look that bad. But you put, someone like um a Puka Nakua or a Cooper Cup, that may not be a great matchup for BSJ. So I think it really depends on how Witt and crew moves their DBs, or do they follow? Do they stay in their little areas, regardless of the matchup? And that would determine if BSJ plays or not, I think. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting. I'm
it's
I'm
gonna be,
really am
yeah,
curious. That's probably the most interesting part about the whole thing is how that lineup gonna look in the secondary.
definitely. I'm interested to see, man. Like, because we hear so much smoke about BSJ. Y'all everybody already know how I feel about BSJ. And Lattimore's with him a lot. I mean, he been coaching them for 6 weeks. It's kind of been the same technique though. Like, I'm like, bro, like, we can't get the phase too. Like, what's happening here? Every time you see him, it seems like they doing the same technique. But I'm very interested to see, because man, like, BSJ, man, he has everything you want in a corner. Like he got the size, he got the build, he got the arms, the strength. Like he has all of it, bro. And it's like he would be
Mhm.
somebody that somebody would come like, look, I can fix him. Just give me some time. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we're definitely interested to see how they approach him. We ain't gonna know till Sunday, probably. So
I mean, he's
um,
definitely a DQ kind of DB. If you look at DQ's
yeah.
track record in Seattle and a little bit in Atlanta, I mean, he definitely is like a guy I thought would improve under this Joe Witt system. It just hasn't. Maybe it has. He just seems to have the worst plays at the worst times, and so we all kind of harp on that. So
Um all right. So like I did just kind of want to chop it up and just kind of look to the future a little bit because we're gonna be back on here tomorrow. But let's talk a little bit about the Saints while you guys is here. And I just want to look to the future a little bit and look at some of these guys that's on the last year of their deal. So Slim, what do you think Sunday is going to look like?
Cardinals, Titans, Browns.
Yeah, bro. um
Yeah, I mean, if Derek Carr would have played, he could have had some drives where he, challenged the defense and things, because any given day Derek Carr can come out there and, be putting the ball where it needs to be. But with no Derek Carr, long as Kamara don't go for $150 on us, like it should be an easy day at the office. They putting an inexperienced quarterback out there that's not going to have any of his main targets. Um, and they haven't been great to begin with all season. So yeah, man, it shouldn't be a Cowboys performance where we, struggling or anything like that. It's not a divisional opponent. There's no familiarity there, so I'm expecting us to go in there and punch them in the mouth early and often.
Some news. Newsmeyer. He's
Um,
returning back.
Garrett,
Garrett, yeah,
LSU.
LSU. Yeah, he returning back to
That's a
school.
smart move
oh,
on
their
his part.
quarterback.
He was gaining some traction early to middle part of the season, then he kind of tailed off. So that's good for him to go back to school for another year and see what he can make out of his draft stock.
What you think about Sunday, CeeLo?
I think I said it earlier. I don't know what it's football any given Sunday. I just expect a very universal beatdown. Um, Offense, defense, special teams. Although their special teams is pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. New Orleans has some players, but as far as what we can do on offense, it'll be a good game given the Noah absence. Let's see what we do. Let's see what Cliff can do against this defense. They do got some speed on the outside in terms of DNs. With our ex number 2 overall pick, Cam Jordan. We'll see. But I'm not worried, to be honest with you. I just can't think of anything that worries me about this team, except for Kamara.
Yeah, except for Kamara. I mean, he didn't practice today, but that's probably more so a vet day.
Precautionary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm thinking Derek Carr. They say it's a chance he plays, but even with him, like I kind of feel the same way, right? So they did ask the head coach by not like naming a quarterback, is he trying to gain an advantage? He was like, yes. And then they was like, yeah, yes, about what? He was like, yes, yes, yes. Like, and they was like, okay, like, bro, like, what type of advantage is he trying to gain by like Dirk Carr, Matt Hayner, and Stetson
He kind
Bennett?
of
Like,
he
what's
gaining
the
an
difference?
advantage on his parlay. That's about it. That's the only advantage he gaining, bro.
I guess
Big
Jake.
Sim
Jake
was
was it?
good,
Is it
but
Jake?
Jake Hayner, yeah, like,
Yeah, Jake Hanna.
bro, I mean,
Fresno State.
yeah,
I want to
man.
put.
So
I want rattlesnake just for Crim. No funny.
All right.
What's that? Oh,
That is, I was
The
trying to
list of 1
write,
year guys.
yeah, some 1 year guys,
oh, that's right. That's right.
to see where y'all at. Um,
Got it.
oh boy, let me see if I can make it. We could do it like that. All right, so I got like Wagner, Chen, Fowler, Lucas, Ertz, Tressway, Noah Igbanaye, BSJ, Noah Brown, De'Ami Brown. I didn't even realize John Bates was on this 4th year either.
Listen,
Because we talk
respectfully,
about him like he gonna be a commander for life.
my son don't need to be on this list.
Who? Oh, Percy 4 years?
No.
Oh,
I'm saying my son Tress is
oh yeah.
retirement, so like he don't even need to be on this. Let's
He's
be so serious.
retiring.
He's retiring with us, bro.
He
Oh,
gonna be commander for
oh.
life.
Yeah, Tress in 17. We could talk about everybody else though.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
that's yeah. Go ahead.
I was a little worried early. I don't know if I remember this, but they were bringing in punters like left and right.
But that was right footed punters though.
I get
We
it, but it
we
just
we
seemed like a
we
lot.
we do that often though because he's
Okay.
a left footed punter. Like it's very I think we do that like every week. But
Just
sometimes
to
they
give the
report it,
returners
sometimes they
and
don't.
for the
Remember that
returners,
dude
or
came in twice. Remember the dude that was doing the business cards and all that?
yeah,
That was doing the TikTok
Mhm.
drinks.
yeah.
But that was in training. I mean, I guess it's good to get practice on both feet, and punters. Yeah.
Who's the first person on the list? The word live is covering the name above
Oh,
Chin on my.
Wagner.
Okay,
Wagner.
all right.
Wagner,
Yeah.
Oh
Wagner,
well, yeah,
Shin,
yeah.
Fowler.
Him and Tress can't get off the list.
Yeah. I don't know about like I would mind bringing Wagner, but if Wagner comes back, just know that he's going to play.
Yeah,
Like
no, and
he ain't here to sit on no bench.
I could
He
live with
probably
that
ain't
for
here to
one more
get out
year.
and come out on third downs either. You know
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
I could
saying?
live with
Like
that for one more year. It's the
He
year
plays
after that
100%.
yeah, no, I
yeah,
can't do
he's
it.
playing every down, bro. He's
But
playing every down.
I think he's earned one more year. I feel like,
All right. So like I
especially in
think
the run game.
I wouldn't be surprised if like most of these guys come back. BSJ, De'Ami Brown, Ertz are all question marks for me. In a sense, like I can get that De'Ami in the draft. BSJ, he might just need a new home. Zach Ertz, I think he's going to retire. To be honest. Yes, I heard something about he has something going on with Stein and his wife or something. I forgot. But like, who on his list is a priority? Like outside of Trustway, like I don't think Trustway going nowhere. But
Wags,
okay,
Corn is a
My
priority for me. That's it. Wags and Corn.
so for me,
Fowler.
nobody's a priority.
That's
That's
fair too.
just you know, uh, yeah. I just think that to me, this list is very um like uninspiring. Just to me, I think you could definitely sign these guys back like low value contracts without competition. Like any of these guys, I don't think is going to blow you away, with the exception of Fowler. I think Fowler may get an offer because some teams are desperate. It ain't gonna make sense, but some
I
teams are
still think it'll be
desperate.
a 1 year deal though, but he
Yeah,
might
it
get
could
double
be.
digits,
It could be. It
especially if
could
he
be. I
breaks the
mean,
record.
it could be. I just think some teams are desperate. But
Yeah,
other than that, man, like just for me, Wag's cool, but I'm not really, just for my personal. I just think they can do better. Um, Chen, I like Chen. He's in an upward trajectory. Um, Hard to tell if they will, but I like Chen, so hopefully they can bring him back. Fowler, I can just talk about Lucas. I think you can get him back easily. Urge, you can bring him back easily if you want to. Stress, obviously. Noah. I'm indifferent. BSJ, I'm good on him. And no, I'm good on him. Deami, I'm good on him. And John Bates, I'll probably bring him back because I think blocking tight ends, although he's not like some kind of Pro Bowler, he's solid. He's
Yeah.
solid. So
So like who Slim, like who would you look at on this list as uh, like a starter, right? Like a every down starter that would be difficult to, and I'm not even gonna, but I'll say free agent. I mean, free agency can be tricky, right? Like you competing with 31 other
Yeah.
teams. But even like bringing in like a rookie or something like that, like which one of these guys can you say, you know what? I don't need to sign a free agent at this position to be my starter. I don't need to draft a player at this position to be my starter because this is my starter here, and I can fill the backup role in free agency or the draft.
Um, um, I guess for me, I'll say like I would say Wags because of Louvu being here.
Mm-hmm.
I could deal with that tandem for another year. I think there's ways to upgrade around them so that their individual weaknesses don't come to show with as much as they may have this season at times.
Mm-hmm.
Chin, I mean, like it's hard finding above average safety play in this, and he's been trending up for us. So you would like to think that'll continue. Um, I wouldn't say Fowler's a starter. He's had a really good season, but I don't know that he's a starter. So the first two, Tress, and I'm still gonna stick with BSJ as well. I mean, like I would love to go out there and get us another young corner to be proactive. In the case of BSJ just not you know uh, uh, uh putting it all together, or Lattimore just not showing us the level that we want him to show us. But I'll be perfectly fine with Lattimore, BSJ, and Mikey to start the year. Depending on how it looks, to finish the year, but I'm expecting it to look pretty good. So I would say B Wags, Chin, and BSJ.
Yeah, so like for me, people that I would bring it back as starters. Of course, we said we ain't worry about Trustway, for sure. Chen, I really like Chen. Chen is what 26,
Mm.
I think. He's getting better. I think he's done a pretty good job on tight ends when he's lined up there on wide receivers and fast running backs. That's kind of the problem. But I like Chen. I will bring him back as a starter. And Noah Igminane, because I think like he's not the best slot corner, but that position is very hard to play. Like it's very hard to play. We talk about elite slot guys. Is not that many of them at all. Even great ones, it's not that many of them. So if you find someone that has more success than failures at that, I think you got to stick with them. I'm not paying them a ton of money, and I still draft someone or even sign someone that can also do it. But I think from this list outside of Trust, I think Chen and Noah are two players that I'm like, you know what, I'm bringing them back to be starters. Um, as far as like backup players, like depth players, um, you're not getting Wags to be depth players. So it's either you gonna bring them back to be a starter, or you're just not going to bring him back. But
Yeah.
Fowler, I think his talent can be maximized as a specialist, which I believe that's what he actually came here to do. But Clinton Farrell, like, I don't know what happened to that guy. Like, I don't even be knowing he
His
on the
knee.
field. His knee bothering him. So
Mm.
Dorrance Armstrong, he was having a good year till he got hurt. So he's starting to come around now, especially in the run game. But Lucas, I would bring him back. I think he's been solid. I know he's he's like 30, 31 now.
Yeah, he's a good swing tackle to have though.
Yeah, but I definitely think you draft someone to kind of get or even sign someone for competition with him. BSJ, I just think he need a change of scenery, to be honest. Noah Brown, you can bring him back, 3rd, 4th. Diami, I think you can find that in the draft. And then John Bates, somebody that I definitely would bring back as a depth. I think he is good and solid, especially on special teams and blocking. But outside of that, that's how I kind of look at this list.
Yeah, I like Lucas too. I think the issue with Lucas is his health. He's been struggling to stay healthy, even as a swing tackle the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think if he can stay healthy, he'll be a good, guy to bring him back. But I think they go a little younger there. It may not be a draft pick. It may be just a free agent, another free agent to just kind of step in if need be. But I think his issue is just health.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, James Crosby going to be on his team for the rest of the year at least. In the offseason, who knows? It depends on him for real.
He gotta be him. I can't deal with him and Oz as returners again next year. And we see how much as much as Eckler giving us pop there, like I refuse to believe that doesn't have an effect on the concussion thing.
Yeah.
So
I need cried. Like, I ain't even, bro, until he started muffing, I didn't even know he was on the team. Like, I ain't even know he was on the team. I don't remember when he got hurt. I don't remember when they put him on IR. All I know is that he was on IR. Like, people started talking. I was like, Jameson Crowder.
Yeah, he went on IR after the Arizona game, first game.
Was he active to the 53?
Yeah, he made a team.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Yep.
I don't remember that at all, man. I don't remember that at all.
After we let go of, after we traded Josh Dotson, and then we dropped the other receivers, it wasn't really not many options. We picked up Noah Brown, that was it. So Jameson was active, Noah Brown was inactive that first week.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, man. So we got the Saints on Sunday. It's gonna be in a dome. I think Jayden gonna show out, man. It's gonna be a ton of LSU jerseys in that drink. It's gonna be rocking, man. Marshawn coming back.
Yeah.
I think Younger gonna show out, man.
The captain.
I would love a pick 6. Or just get a pick. You ain't got to do nothing with it. You can take it, run out of bounds with it.
That junk gonna hit like, bro.
Just get your hands on the football, because I'm telling you, that home crowd, they, as much as they want to act like it's the relationship's torn now that he's gone and stuff. Some of the things that's been put out in the media. The real hardcore Saints fans is going to cheer for that, man.
They know. And Jayden, like, that junk will be still have Raga LSU jerseys in that.
Raga.
I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, 3 weeks ago?
See them Commanders 5s?
Yep. Yeah.
You're going to see them Commanders 5s down there.
Yeah, they definitely going to be deep. We always travel well to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
5. So, yeah, it's going to be a movie, that junk, man. Yeah, Tim. So I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I don't know about Slim and Ceelo's schedule, but I'll be here. Red Zone Lab be here tomorrow around 5:15, same time, and we're gonna look at free agency a little bit. Not too much. We're gonna talk about the game on Sunday. We do got a game coming up, but it's week 14, week 15, whatever it is. So people kind of looking ahead. We ain't gonna look too far ahead, but
I'm already there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like we can't hey bro, like we people saying why we get him? Like who else you gonna get?
Yeah,
Michael Thomas?
that's what I'd
Like
be confused. That's what I'd be confused about. Like
who else you gonna
in my
get, bro?
in my
Like
group chat, folks like, man, we should have just took a fly on AB. Like, come on, man.
it
AB.
Come on,
it
man.
does make you wonder. Like we do have all these guys on, and every team does this. They have all these guys on practice squad. You know, so many people deep in certain positions, but we always go outside, to get someone else. It always makes you wonder, like what's Kaz Allen doing? What's Jermaine Evans doing? What are these
Not
other guys
enough. It
doing?
just tells me they ain't doing
Oh
enough.
yeah,
They just
Especially
keep
when you
these
don't
practice
got a
squad guys.
especially when you don't got a staff that you continuously questioning their evaluations and the things
yeah.
that they're doing. And for me, it's just they can't be doing enough, or
Chuck
something
will
just
be in
got
the
to be
building
said about the
tomorrow.
the feeling of reliability in a veteran player like a
He's saying
KJ
a
who
Super
ain't
Bowl,
never
my man.
did nothing crazy, but he gonna give you his 500-600 yards, any given season. So, you know,
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy, man. I can't wait, man. Yeah, well, we could talk about that tomorrow too. Like the people that's already on a roster that hasn't contributed. We can't blame it on coaching, but like I think
yeah.
coaching has been perfect in a sense this year. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We about to say Ceelo.
I was just gonna say, I think the other part of Tim's question that I think will be attractive for us, I think coach is gonna want to come here. I think I'm not saying we need to change coaches, but inevitably you're gonna, add the lead coaches as the years go by. But
Yeah.
I think after the first year of seeing what Dan Quinn's program looked like and what Cliff's doing, and what what DQ's doing on the defensive side, um, I just think that coaches will want to come here and check us out if we want to bring over a guy like my man from Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
I think he definitely comes. Like if
Um,
he doesn't get a defensive
DQ
coordinator
from the
job,
defense coordinator. Yeah,
I think he definitely comes. Like they was only able to keep him because they gave him assistant head coach, right? So um if they keep that staff, right? Like if McCarthy
right,
stays or whatever, but who knows?
right,
Like they defensive coordinators on a 1 year deal, bro. So like
Yeah.
right.
who knows what happens? They bring someone else in, they might want to change up everything. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely
Right.
think he'll come here for sure. We definitely gonna look at the coaching staff.
Yeah, we
Um,
should at some point.
maybe we should do that tomorrow too. Kind of look at the coaching staff, just to kind of see where we are. And look, we're not overlooking the Saints. Like we're not overlooking the Saints. We're going to talk about
Hmm.
the Saints. We're going to talk about keys and all that other good stuff. But we at this point in the season, like we don't talked about a whole like the same stuff in a sense. So
Man,
um
listen, man. As much as it's any given Sunday, like Chiefs fans ain't talking about the Panthers, man. They talking about everything else that's got to do with their franchise that Panthers week. You know what I mean? Like the Eagles, as much as the Eagles just scraped past them, leading up to that, they was not. You find 24, 48 hours to talk about some things, but after that, bro, it ain't really too much to talk about. Like I said, it's not like they got Derek Carr out there where you have any threat of you
Olave
know
ain't playing.
no Olave, no
Kamara stacked the
Shaheed,
box
no
against him.
Shaheed, the deep threat
Taysom
Shaheed,
Hill,
no Taysom. Like I mean, they are completely depleted, and they're a team that's trying to improve their draft stock. So we're gonna
definitely.
give them exactly what they're asking for, which is a better draft position. We'll do that for them. We'll do that for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
So like, yeah, man, we definitely gonna talk about some keys, man.
We might have to find us a Saints fan to bring on here. Can't think of any.
I ain't bringing that one. They too aggressive, bro. Like, nope,
and my
not
cousin, my
doing it.
cousin ain't gonna do nothing but ask us to do him a favor, which is not lose. Like that's all he asks. That's all he been at me. Cause so I got a cousin that's a Saints fan, and I got a cousin that's a Falcons fan. How they became NFC South fans growing up in Oxon Hill is beyond me. But so one's a Saints fan, one's a Falcons fan, and all week, bruh, can you do me a favor and not do what your cousin did, bro, and help my draft stop, bro. Don't worry, bro. I got you. You know what I'm saying? You feed my fans and my players, and we gonna make sure you walk home with that L, brother. We got you.
For real.
Yeah, so like we definitely gonna talk about this tomorrow. Cliff, I don't think he leaves, man, but I think he'll have somebody gonna call him, and I'd be interested if he take him.
He'll take some. He takes some interviews. I think he'll take some
think so?
interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't taking one with the Bears, so y'all might as well cut that out. Like, there, y'all brought that man in to try to get information. But yeah, man, I'm not concerned either because I think we still got coaches here. But
I don't
like,
I don't think the boy's leaving.
me either,
Respect.
yeah.
Just
Me
it
either.
don't.
Just don't feel like it. Like I don't have
Yeah,
that
like
feeling.
nothing
I think we
about
would end up having more coaches, like
nothing
CeeLo was
about
saying. Like,
I just think
nothing
he's
about
hard.
him. You know,
He's
just
hard to
anything.
read.
No, he
He's
is.
hard. He's hard
He's
to read.
very
Like he
hard to
sounds
read.
like he's.
But you gotta think though, like he was up there on the list. He might not have been the top dog. You know, he wasn't. He might not have been
he
Ben
came kind of late too.
or Mike McDonald, but he was out there, right? And
But he came kind of late too,
for
though.
him to have the foresight to say, "All right, like is not just about me this time around," because I know I
Yeah.
can go directly help the quarterbacks in Chicago or Vegas, because those were the two teams that were high on him, right? Whether Chicago was kind of using him for information or whatever, and Las Vegas really was like once he seen what we're doing here, and we reached out to him, and then Magic and Dan, like it's no way you get sold on that, and then a year later you just ready to leave for a position that most of your career where you've thrived has been at the coordinator position. Not to say that you did a bad job or that your head coach and tenure not being extended was a Cliff thing, right? But
Yeah.
after you learn things and stuff, I would think he would have been a little bit more adamant about being a head coach first go around than stepping fully into this offensive coordinator role. And then just like, bro, who's leaving Jayden after 1 year, bro? Nobody's doing that.
Yeah, man. Like
Nobody's doing
he
to
is
go
like
to go
he
be with
doesn't
a
have
to
no
go be with
emotion.
like that would really show me, not in a bad way, but in an intriguing way, that like Cliff really feels himself to the point where he like, all right, I done did what I need to do with you. I'm out. I'm going to go help the next young quarterback. And again, which I'm not saying that in a negative manner. That would just be very interesting to me than to just because you would think that most humans that build this relationship would want to cultivated over more than just a year. At that point, he would be like a mercenary quarterback guru. You know what I'm saying? Just going from quarterback to quarterback, which, if different strokes for different folks. If that's what he's looking for, like you said, CeeLo, he's not the easiest guy to read. But just from what we've been building, if he does leave, I would see that at the earliest being after next year, not.
And like the 3-year thing that he wanted, like he wanted that real bad. Like that says a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like coordinators usually just get 2, you know what I'm saying? But he was adamant about 3 years. So I'd be surprised because I still think it's a whole lot of this playbook that we're not going to see this year. That he wants to see
Until you get that legit number 2, you know what I'm saying? Until you get that running back that's got some game break. Because as much as Eckler has proven he's not washed, he also has shown that he lost that little bit of burst that he had to hit his head on the goalpost, because he's been getting ran down just as much as anybody else. So
who you talking about, Timothy? Who you talking about?
I'm just speaking for me, but I
Yeah, because
wouldn't. Oh,
most
I think
head
you're talking about
coaches don't.
Cliff.
I guess he's saying Cliff,
He's saying Cliff being here for 1 year and then
and then
jumping to be a
going
head coach.
to head coach.
Oh, I mean,
But
if they it's not like he going to the job, they calling him.
They for
I
sure
think
gonna be calling him.
Yeah.
I think we should probably do the party exercise, and we should probably go through each team that we feel like will have an opening
Mm.
and figure out if that even makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know, let's say Antonio Pierce doesn't make it. Does he go back and be there with Shador, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
that'd
know.
definitely be intriguing.
I mean,
Like he
that's
almost
one
signed
that
on the dotted line out that junk. So
that's one that's sensible because again, he's seen
back on the West Coast.
what the recalibration of structure has done for us, and that's kind of
Right.
what you would expect Brady to be doing over there, right? And and yeah, Shador be coming there, another high profile prospect that he can, mold and help develop and things like that. So I could easily see that. I could also see them maybe, the first year giving Antonio 1 year to kind of prove himself, and then if he don't, Cliff will still be in the wings. But yeah, no, I definitely think Cliff has gotten himself back into the into
Conversation.
the line of sights for other organizations as far as coaching targets. So it's definitely something to speak on, regardless of
Yeah.
individual
For sure.
perspective.
For
He
sure.
might not take any calls, but I'll be a little surprised if he doesn't.
I'll be surprised if he don't take any calls, just as much as I'd be surprised if he
If he
takes
does.
a job.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just like he'll
Gotcha.
probably be like, look, they're gonna be here next year because I'm gonna cook.
Yeah.
This offense gonna look even better. Y'all'll be here.
Well, and that's
And
the
it might
thing.
depends on what he likes. He want to go to a team that's absolutely going to draft a quarterback, top 3 pick.
That's the thing, Deuce. I think what somebody said, and I think one of the analysts was like, getting your first head coach job is a big deal, but getting a second one is damn near impossible. Like, and if he realizes that, if a coach is getting a second opportunity, that's usually your last. Very few coaches get three. So if you're going to get your second one, it better be the right situation.
Yeah,
Be
for sure.
selective,
Because
do
think
your
about it,
research,
Arizona, he got rid of Josh Rosen, right? The
right?
Raiders, they
For
wasn't
him,
going to
pretty
draft a
much.
quarterback. Like he was like, nope. You know what I'm saying? So like, I definitely think he goes somewhere where he either likes the quarterback that's already there, or he's able to choose his own guy. And it might depend on the draft. Like if it's nobody he like coming out, he might be like, nah, I'm gonna wait.
I think, and then we got to go back and ask our Cardinals fans, but I want to say he did not have total control of his coaching staff either over in Arizona. There was a
Yeah.
lot of things in Arizona that didn't go his way.
He was the X's and
Um,
O's guy.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator. I think he had a QB coach, but he didn't have a lot of say so on like defensive side. He didn't have a say so on some other position coaches. So it may just really be about, like you said, dudes, the quarterback or the draft position. The front office is probably gonna be huge for him. He's gonna be like, yo, like I gotta, have some control, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be just any job though. I think he's gonna be
Yeah.
very selective for his next job,
Yeah. As he should,
as
been
he should be, as he should be.
having been around the block, and seeing how these things materialize as far as these coaching hiring cycles and things of that nature. I would expect him to be very selective in who gets his time, because again, like, you got to entice me to leave a great situation where I focused on what I focused on. I ain't got to deal with the everyday headaches of the head
Right.
coach, right? He got the 3 years that he wanted. He's getting paid nicely. There's a if he really wants to be a head coach with patience, there's a path for him to get promoted here. DQ ain't getting no younger. He not the oldest guy, but he not getting no younger. And hey, man, I definitely think it's a lot of things for Cliff to kind of, you know, factor in. So it'll be interesting just to see how he maneuvers, within the next off season or two, with these cycles. Because now you see it's not just everybody's seeing the most dysfunctional, publicly dysfunctional, right? I won't say we are the most dysfunctional. I mean, the Browns is second to none. But like far before they start dealing with the whole Deshaun situation, like we were the most publicly dysfunctional organization. When you see us get things together and see just how much stability can breathe life into the on the field product, man. You see the headlines of David Tepper speaking about how he's gonna, try his best to be more hands off and let the guys that he hired do what they're supposed to do. Um, you see, Cowboys fans are at that point where it's Jerry, get rid of Jerry or bust. They don't care about nothing else. Nothing's changed until Jerry's gone. So, you see Ben Johnson saying he's going to be selective. He ain't just quick to take the first head coaching job that's going to offer him the most money, yada, yada, yada. I think there's a lot of things for Cliff to factor in. And, this will be another interesting, storyline to watch from our perspective.
What's up, Marius? Who's here? Is you talking about here? I don't think we said that.
I just mentioned it just a tad bit.
Just like after like a
Yeah,
succession type
with
thing.
patience,
Oh
if he
yeah, that's gonna
looking
be a
for it,
minute. Like that's gonna
yeah,
be
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's gonna be.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think Dan gonna be here a while, bro.
yeah.
Um, this is a bar. This is a bar. Like literally, a lot of the beat guys that I talk to, man, they are just hyped about it. Not having to talk about this, man. Like all that crazy stuff that was going on. Yeah, man, we definitely appreciate all of you for joining. Those of you that's on X and Facebook, we definitely appreciate if you just hit the bio, subscribe to YouTube if you have YouTube. If not, don't worry about it. Just chop it up over there with us on Facebook and X, man. Everybody on YouTube, shout out to all of you. We know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with us. We definitely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.